Hey, welcome on into R.I.P, Reincarnation Insurance Program here on MindMine. This is an absolutely awesome looter-shooter mixed with bullet heaven style game that really delivers. You can make so many unique builds with all the different characters and their unique weapons and all the different equipment as well as tech in the tech trees. It is really fun and exciting, and honestly the boss fights are just something to really enjoy. Like, they really get you thinking, they really keep you active. It's not just let me run around in circles, firing off random things, and it's dead. There really is a level of skill, a level of strategy that you have to take on, which is awesome. And your build can really come into play and really help you either annihilate a boss or make you wishing that maybe you had a different build. Now, there is one specific game mode that I have been focusing in on, which is the core game mode, which is the Purge mode. But as of February 13th, there is a new game mode, which is in beta currently within this early access title. So everything is just, up for change and it's up for feedback and everything. So, expect things to be tweaked and change over time. But if you hit level 40 with a character, you can jump into the Void Spire. The Void Spire is like a gauntlet. So you take on one area, and then you move on to the next, and with each area that you complete, you get rewards. So with this, it's very cool, because it really changes up the whole concept of what you've been doing. From what I understand, the maps are very different, too. So we get to experience something different from the core gameplay loop, which is neat. Now, today we're going to take on the absolutely explosive force, the man Morse. So let's go ahead and jump over to the Void Spire, which is over here. Activate. And this is basically the gauntlet. You go from floor 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, so on and so forth. As you beat them, you unlock them. And then once you get to a boss elimination, there is a specific corrupt kind of crystal that you have to utilize in order to get in. If you don't have one, you have to get them, which is just through playing the game, from what I understand. Now, the other thing is that you actually go through the Purge mode. Once you hit 40, the game will start asking you on rank 5 and 6 difficulties if you want to save the build that you use for the Purge mode. When you save it, that's actually what you use here in the Void Spire. So, with this character, I have this specific one. Is it amazing? Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it was fun. It was definitely fun, for sure. But it's just one I quickly saved, so we're going to check it out. So here we have corrosive rounds, we have toxic chains, so we're doing damage while also healing off of multiple targets, which is great. Biochemical canister, where poisoning enemies are taking damage over time, but they're also weakening, so they're doing less damage to us. We have corrosive aura as well, dealing poison. Polar cyclone, which really disrupts the enemy's pathing and pushes them away from you if you need room, and does some pretty nice damage per second. We have rocket salvo, we have split projectiles, which is actually phenomenal for the build that I have. I absolutely love it. Then there's Tactical Hourglass. We have EXP Amplification, Corrosive Mastery, so that way our poison is doing more damage. Enemies that are poisoned have a chance to drop an explosive grenade on death. We have Status Armor, gain armor for each nearby enemy affected by status ailment. And there we go. And then from there we have Giant Slayer, so damage bonus against elites and bosses 24%, and Bioshield Crystal, dealing poison damage has a chance to gain a shield. So just something I was playing around with, having fun with, and I just really liked it. Now, one thing I will say, by the way, is if you play Morse, and you get this weapon right here, absolutely get something like Shock Protocol. It is so much fun and it is so good to use. With Shock Protocol, what happens is when you reload, you release an explosion. Well, it just so happens that with this weapon, there's only one in the magazine. So you are constantly setting off Shock Protocol, and it is just a lot of fun to run around and just take out waves of enemies with Shock Protocol alone, just by reloading. So, definitely recommend. But with that, let's get into floor 1, Bloody Causeway. And like I said, the maps are different. Like, looking at this isn't in the Purge mode. We have the Polar Beacon as well. We have the Perilous Convoy, and then everything after that seems to be random. Now, there's going to be more stuff being added on to this mode, and the devs do say, keep in mind that this is a work in progress. We wanted to release this early just to get feedback. So there might be issues, there might not feel like there's a lot to it yet, but there will be. And honestly, for a two-man team, this is really impressive what they already have. So props to them on that. Let's go ahead and deploy. This kind of reminds me of like the towers in Mortal Kombat. If anyone knows what I'm talking about. And actually, with the space that we have, poison and explosion works really well here. Yeah, I can't complain, actually. And the fact that I'm getting shield off of poison, and because enemies are in this choke point here, I'm getting poison off a lot. So I'm shielding up, but I'm also taking less damage from the poison. And then just the AoE of the explosives. Like, this is really sweet. Yeah, so for Purge, you could kind of go several different ways. You could do a mixture of like, okay, I just want to do as much damage to the specific bosses I'm facing on this map, mixed with, I just need some really solid AoE to get enemies off my butt. One way or another, whether it kills them very quick, or it slows them down, or pushes them away. But here, you really just want to make sure that you build out for choke points. So going for that AoE is really good. Like, Cyclone here actually works quite well. And the fact that they're spinning and still taking damage, even from my other stuff, is great. I love that. And I have built out the corrosive, was it biocanister or whatever? My grenade. So it does have a really good spread on it, which for this is great. You spin me right round, baby, right round. And by the way, this is my first time doing Void Spire. I have not done it yet. I've been wanting to save it for an actual recording. Ooh, nice, getting the health drops just in case. I'm curious on the bosses. Are they going to be the same as from the other mode? Or will they be actually unique? Ooh, I'm getting bounced around quite a bit now. We're getting some elites coming in now. I will say, though, two things I've noticed is that with the update, there are a few issues. For instance, you can be outside of the area of attack. Talk to Sona to choose your next action. Oh, okay. Oh, Sona's the hologram. So I have noticed two issues with this game since the update. One is whenever you're on the outside of a cone of attack or an area of attack, you still get hit. There are still plenty of times where you get hit by stuff, and it's really frustrating. Like with those elites, I was outside of their melee range, but I was still getting pushed around and getting staggered, so I couldn't do anything. So I hope that they do look into that and fix that. The other thing is the dodging. The perfect dodging was working great prior, but now it just feels like sometimes it registers as a perfect dodge and other times it doesn't, and you still get hit. So mixing that with the fact that enemies are still hitting outside of range does get a little frustrating. Let's see here. Quick-handed hail. Ooh, nice, okay. A slight upgrade from what we have, so that's pretty cool. Chance of heal on kill, I like that, especially for this. And I can now see why you would have multiple builds. Not only because of the bosses, because sometimes their abilities really dictate what you want to build into, but also depending on what game mode. So this is really clever. Have the chance. All right, let's throw this on. Gloves, what do we have? Dash damage, weapon crit chance, damage to those under or less than 50% and those over 50%. Whenever you interact with an investigation, well, we don't have to worry about that here, so. Movement speed 5% for every 4 meters. That's good. It's definitely good, but we don't need it for this situation, I don't believe. So we'll keep what we have, put that into our inventory. What do we want to do? Enter next layer, choose your next action. So upgrade tech, enter next layer, return to HQ. Upgrade tech, what can we do? Upgrade success rate decreases when tech upgrade level exceeds current layer. Oh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. Do we even want to upgrade? Upgrade laser array. Well, we're not even using that, though. Look at that. Huh. So it looks like we just kind of look around for what tech we are actually using and upgrade it. I guess. I'm assuming. Maybe. Or maybe this is just an overall, like, not just for our abilities, but... Yeah, I have no idea. I'm intrigued, though. Let's see. All right, that sounds good to me. Explosions are art, which, yeah, that... Well, in the Purge mode, it's 500%, I believe, damage multiplier, which is insane. If you have heavy artillery with, like, rocket salvo, it's pretty sweet. It is pretty sweet. Let's see. What else do we want to do here? Go to corrosive. Let's upgrade this. And upgrade toxic chain. Okay, cool. Next layer. The upgrading is a little funky because I see stuff that I don't have, so I'm curious on how that works out, but... Okay, activate and defend the beacon. Oh, okay. And the rockets with glare. I can't say red glare because they're green, but they do have a glare. Oh yeah, Polar Cyclone for this is actually pretty solid. Because they, of course, put range units in here that make it hard to reach if they stay outside the circle. And, of course, you need to stay in it to get the signal going. We've got the Crimson Dragon Wave. We've got a lot of stuff going for us here. All right, cool. Okay, so we're moving on. Oh! Fantastic, we can yeet ourselves. Okay, this is definitely different from the Purge mode. I like this. I like how each level is different. Kind of similar, though. I mean, they're restraining you for sure. They're making it so you have to try to deal with a lot in a little space, but I like it. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yep, I'm getting that punch stagger. Oof, come on. Oh my goodness, I just went through already one, well, I call it Death Defiance because of Hades, but... Okay, that was a little absurd. That was a little absurd. Okay, Dark Plate, gloves, gloves. Upgrade Divine Tech. Yeah, I will say, with being able to be hit outside of the range that they should be, on top of everything else, oof, that was rough. Upgrade status armor, let's do it. Next layer. I love this art, by the way. This is fantastic. It also gives me, like, the Mortal Kombat Tower vibe. Anything in here? No? Okay. Worth a shot. Hey, we get a vehicle. Look at that. Start vehicle? Oh, no. It's an escort quest. At least we have aura. That's good. We have to escort the Mako. Well, luckily we have Cyclone, so it gets enemies off of it, which is nice. We have a lot of AoE. And luckily we could be on the side of it, in front of it, behind it. Whatever works to get it moving. Oh man, all the elites coming out. They're so angry. Like, what did this poor vehicle do to you? Seriously, who hurt you? Yeah, there might be too many elites on these 2 levels. Yeesh. Because I am constantly getting staggered and knocked around. It was going pretty smooth. Yeah, I am constantly getting staggered by these enemies. It does seem, though, that you get your Death Defiances back or whatever, which is pretty nice. Oh. Man, that was so close. Look at the health on this thing. Ooh, okay. That was something. Holy crap. Okay, some legendaries there. Upgrade tech. Holy crap. Okay. Upgrade Plague Spread. Let's do that, maybe? Let's see. What do we want? Oh, actually, let's go to Frost. So we do have the Polar Cyclone we can upgrade. Okay, what else? Corrosive Aura. Matrix. Twin Core would be sick. Katarina with Twin Core is so much fun. Okay, let's see here. Actually, Luna too. Luna's very good with Twin Core. Alright, we'll just up the overall corrosive damage. Next layer. Death Arena. Alright, so this one is just defeat the enemies. Oh, sneaky. There are enemies outside the arena we can't get to. They see me rolling. I'm dodging. Okay, I can hit them with grenades. That's good. I'm very curious on if they upped the percentage or the chance of a drop item, like health and stuff, just because of the concept, or if it's the same as Purge. I want to say already I see more drops, but that could also just be because it's in a very condensed area. Yeah, you may see me dodge even when I really don't need to, per se. Like, I'm not dodging out of the way of something. The reason why I'm doing it is because of the ability. Because I'm doing damage to up to 3 targets, and I'm getting health back. So, just nice to kind of do on and off just to up the DPS. Yep, now we're getting the shield elites. Hello, hi. Ooh, ow. Don't you want to be my neighbor? Oh no, machine gunner? Oh, boy. Also, there's one request that I have. As a player who loves this game and who loves roguelites, the ability to change the... Hold on one second. The ability to change the cursor. I lose it amongst all this so often, and I have to figure out where it's at. If I could change the thickness, the color, that would be awesome. I think that would be a really nice quality of life. Giant's Belt, Ranger, okay. So we're getting a lot of legendary. We've got 2 mythics. Oh, it's a good farm for legendary, if anything. Now, if you're playing the game and you're like, well, why wouldn't I go for a mythic over a legendary? So, technically, some legendaries can actually be better than a mythic because of the tier. If you notice on the top right corner, there's a T, so there's a tier 1, 2, and 3. You could have a tier 1 mythic, but if you have a tier 3 legendary, most likely it's going to have more damage, more armor, probably overall better stats. The only thing you'll be missing is that additional sort of passive, which is in orange on the very bottom, just above the sell price. So like after throwing, throw damage 20% for 15 seconds. You just won't have that additional add-on, which sometimes, honestly, in comparison, when you're looking at the overall stats, is okay. All right, Divine Tech. What are we upgrading? Let's do that. And combat androids is actually kind of fun. It's neat to see just, you know, a little minion like running around with a minigun. Let's do Toxic Chain. What else? And armor. Yeah, I like that. All right, next layer. Oh no, the Sandstorm Lord. This character is the epitome of bullet hell. Like, you could get a sense of his abilities and stuff, and they're not too hard to avoid, especially if you have your dodge down and you dodge in the correct direction. The only problem is the burning. I just wish it wasn't so instant. Because, like, for us, it's like, oh, you have a 20% chance or a 30% chance to ignite them, right? Or something like that at times. Well, I guess if you have Incendiary and Corrosive, that's just 100%. But, yeah, having the boss have 100%, so just one hit puts you on fire is like, oof. It does seem like if you roll, though, it does put out the fire sooner. I could be completely wrong on that, though. But it does seem to be. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm dodging to the side instead of through it, which is hurting me. So, for some reason, I used to actually be pretty good with this boss, but then I stopped playing the desert because I was doing Frostfield and everything else in the swamp, and so I've gotten a little bit rusty, unfortunately. Ugh, yeah. I am barely doing any damage to this character. Very spongy. Yeah, so for those, I just try to run and I turn off or toggle off the auto attack. For this, if you get far enough away, you could kind of avoid them. Unfortunately, I just couldn't and then ran out of dash on that. Yeah, usually going straight through those is the best bet. Of course, watch out for the, I don't know, what do you want to call it, the extra arm? Yeah, we're definitely not going to win this, but at least we know what it's like. Yeah. Kind of figured. Kind of figured. So either with the build, we just need a more developed build that does more DPS, because we were also having issues with elites as well. Now, poison isn't a great damage dealer. It does damage over time, but one of its main goals is actually to weaken so it does less damage, so that people do less damage to you who are poisoned. So, I mean, and that's one of the things that this build has a lot of corrosive with it. If I went more with explosives and had like heavy artillery instead of puller, cyclone, for example, that could change it up a bit more. Maybe Inferno to an extent. Result below expectations. Recommended options: return to HQ to re-prepare or reattempt the mission immediately. I don't really want to reattempt that because I just don't think the build is quite where it needs to be. And so that was level 5. So level 5, you meet a boss, and then you would continue on taking on random maps, which would be the same maps that we experienced, but at random, this time instead of in order. And then from there, you would face another boss, and then another boss. And they do seem to be the bosses from the Purge. Let's see. Probably a lot of this stuff I could sell. Yeah, we'll hold on to that for now. I might be able to give that to Claire. Might give that to someone else. Now, okay, yeah. And we don't get talent points for any of that. So you don't level up. You don't get any talent points in Void Spire. It is really, I think, more so just to take on the challenge as well as to farm high-level gear. So it kind of reminds me actually a little bit of Last Epoch. If anyone's played that ARPG, you have your normal levels that you can run through and farm, but then there is a specific kind of, I think there's like a gauntlet style thing that you could go through in order to farm higher level gear. So it kind of gives me that vibe. Now, another thing you could do besides the Void Spire is you could do the Headhunt Assault, which I've never done as well. I've actually been saving it for video. So let's go ahead and check this out as well. If you haven't checked it out, this will be a great time to get a sense of it before you jump in. And with this, so while Void Spire is good for just farming mythics and legendaries, the Headhunt Assault is good for taking on bosses and taking on that challenge and getting better with them, but also getting packs. Packs are kind of, what do I want to say? They are a blueprint where it will add additional features, from what I understand of it at least, onto armor. So you add on a helm, gauntlets, a chest piece, stuff like that. And then you add that pact and you combine it, and then that gear gets those elements from the pact. I've never quite done it yet. I have a pact, I just haven't utilized it yet because I want to get a better helm. But if anyone who's played the game too can better describe it, fantastic. Feel free to leave that in the comments to help out the community and stuff, players who are just jumping in or thinking about jumping in. But let's go ahead and deploy and try Headhunt Assault. The Divine System will allocate 55 tech based on your selection. It includes 5 bonus gunsmith tech. Oh. Okay, so for Headhunt, it's not like your usual Purge. You have to pick a specific tree. And then you get some of the gunsmith. And gunsmith is, if I remember right, like a boost to experience, to different things with your weapons, of course, how much damage you put out. I believe damage shielding as well. How much damage you can mitigate taking. Let's see, so with Mecha Tech, we get all the different drones. With Corrosive, we poison and weaken. Frost, we can slow or freeze fully. Explosion is just a lot of fun. It's just fireworks. Lightning is... Honestly, I think Lightning and Corrosive are two of my favorites. And I'm still trying to figure out, you know, whether I like Explosion, Frost, or Mecha Tech between that. Inferno's good. Don't get me wrong. Inferno is quite good. But just my personal liking from what I've seen of the skills. Let me think here. So Lightning can give you cooldown reduction, which is super nice. Let's do Explosions. Please select 3 Divine. Oh, we could do 3. My bad. Okay, I thought it was just the 1 tree and then the Gunsmith. That's right, 3 Divine. So let's do Explosion. Let's do... Corrosive can also give you healing through Toxic Chain, which is nice. Let's do Explosion, Lightning, and Mecha Tech. Okay, look at that. So you pick the trees and it picks the abilities that you have. Nice. So we have the android with the minigun. It looks like we have potentially, I think it's rocket salvo. It's a chase rocket ability. We have the spinning blades, which are great, honestly, for really clearing house. We have heavy artillery. So that's a lot of fun. That could do an insane amount of damage on a boss, too. And then with our grenades, we now throw out saw blades. We have gunship support, so those are the bullets that are raining down. We have the arc ring, so lightning spreads out from us and then comes back, so it can hit a target twice. So we actually got lucky with some really good wave clearing abilities. Really like that. And it does seem to be like Purge and like Void Spire in a sense. You're just fighting in a very confined area, which is a different map from all the other maps, which is also great to see. We're still farming items and well, I guess we're not farming experience because we already have the abilities. It's just how well can we use those abilities, so that's cool. And I'm assuming eventually we get to that boss at the very end. Ah, okay, yeah, so we're collecting the souls as the mission objective. Because souls are your experience, usually. Here we go, Flesh Tyrant. What? Oh, you! Okay, okay. I wasn't expecting a mid-boss. I was thinking end-boss. Okay, cool. I'm down for that. So when he roars like that, that's a really good time to grenade. Or do a concentrated ability on him. When he starts charging, though, just dash. If you have biocanister, that's not bad to just throw in his way and have him keep running through it. Ooh, timing. Now, he does have a phase 2 where he does a ring of AoE around him, so you need to be careful of that. Which might be coming up soon here. Yep, right there, and right there. That will do a ton of damage to you. And then he'll do a jump. I am jumping a little too early, too. I'm getting lucky that I'm actually avoiding the damage. See, and then also we have Frost currently on our projectiles. And I believe we have Frost Dash as well. He's gonna call his minions, potentially. Oh, no? Okay, he's just gonna ground pound. Oh, there we go. There we go. Headhunt Vanguard. Clear Headhunt Assault mode for the first time. So you could think of this as like a shorter version of Purge. So you have Purge, which I think takes like around 15-20 minutes. This was much shorter. So if you want just a quick run or a few quick runs just to farm stuff and just to play, this seems like a really good alternative. Oh, another one of these. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. But Void Spire definitely for if you want to just stay and farm and hang out. They are still a bit quicker, though, of course, than Purge. But let's see here. Range 850 magazines. So damage is lower, of course. Fire rate's the same. All damage, not as high. Attack speed is pretty nice for... yeah, for an Ox weapon. Bullets inflict burn. Every 15 seconds, randomly spawn an energy block nearby. Picking it up restores 30% active tactical skill cooldown, which that's pretty nice. I do like that. All right, we'll put that there. Oh, this one actually does more damage. Look at that. Realize I had that. Increases weapon range, all damage, and damage to enemies under 50%, which would also include, I would think, elites and bosses. And then everything else seems to be pretty much the same. Okay. Oh, that's an upgrade. Let's switch to that. That's pretty nice. And pretty much, I think with everything else, I'm honestly just going to break it down. Let's see, right there. Dismantle all, yes. Still want a mythic helm. That is one thing I'm looking for. Actually, did we get skill points? No. Okay, so Boss Hunt does not give you, at least I think, overall character experience. So that's good to know. All right, well, let's try the Void Spire again. So boss elimination. So we could start right where we left off, which is really cool. You don't have to grind all the way through again. And as you can see, there are 100 floors. There is a global rank percentage, and of course you can see your friend's rank. Boss rewards, tech upgrades, and credit. Well, let's try it again. Now that I've de-rustified a little bit. Oh, different boss. So they will change the boss up. I'm actually more familiar with this boss than the Sand Lord or whatever. I was hitting my Q while they did that. I was like, oh! Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oof. Those can be tricky to dodge. But yeah, typically with this, I just run around the side. And it tends to work. I really love the Plague Angel, though. Because it really tests your ability to dodge. And just being mindful of the different abilities. Oof, didn't mean to run through that. Yeah, if you learn placement, I think you can get away with quite a bit, honestly. Like, I think there are spots that are always free of that ice damage. I think it's pretty much the same. Busy talking. Yeah, so very, very spongy. We're only at 83%. Again, some of it could be the build. Yeah, okay, so these areas tend to be always open. There we go. Oh, that still hit me. Dang it. I thought I was just out of it. Waiting for phase 2 where they do a circle all the way around with ice. I will say Dr. Evil would love this character because nothing but lasers. Oh, yep, there's the circle attack. There we go. Really, that counted. Interesting. I guess I was just slightly too late with that. And you actually don't have to wait for the swords to disappear on that attack. Wait, what? Failure? Huh? What do you mean failure? I didn't die. It just says mission objective defeat the... So I guess... Oh, this is timed. Oh, okay. So the boss fight is not only difficult because it's... I would say this boss is probably at like a rank 5 or 6. Because it's very spongy. But on top of that, I guess the boss fight is timed. So, unfortunate for us, unfortunate for this build, but it's good to know. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just taking down the boss, because that's what it literally says. I didn't notice that there was a timer here, I guess. Because usually this is for, like, how many enemies you've killed to meet the objective. So that threw me off that that was being used as a timer as well. Okay, so yeah, definitely this build is doable. It just takes too much time for the timer with this. So ideally doing a build with explosives, especially with heavy artillery as a tactical, active tactical ability would be super helpful here. Doing Inferno with fire damage over time could be useful. I'm not really sure where the damage is at for poison over time versus fire over time. I'm trying to think of what else here. I mean, lightning wouldn't be bad. Like, you could do Lightning Storm as an active tactical as well. And if you elongate how long the your tactical ability lasts for, and even get the mythic ability where you can double it, where you have like a 50% chance of it going off twice, that could be super helpful. Okay. Well, now we know. And again, this is my first time through Void Spire. This really isn't to show like, oh, this is how you do it and everything. Like, I'm still learning the game even after many hours. But really it's just to show it off because I want more people to play the game. I want more people talking about it. Definitely give more support to the devs. But also, you know, just in case if you're jumping in for the first time so you don't feel a little lost on like, what is this? What is this? Hopefully at least you get a general sense of, you know, what each thing is before you dive in. But yeah, let me think here. Now, the other thing is with Void Spire, if I put more into this tree here, the tactical tree, that could help as well. More into the weapon tree, that could help as well. So, not just about the skills that you choose and how you level them up, but also based on your scaled tree as another thing that really comes into play. So, well, cool. All right. Well, we checked out the Headhunt. We checked out the Void Spire twice to get a sense of that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you've been playing the game and you have tips and tricks for folks, feel free to share those in the comments as well to help build up the community. But take care of yourselves and each other, and I look forward to hanging out with you in the next video.